Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester. Panhandle Outdoors, your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester. Glad you're here on this Monday morning. Got a great week lined up, and folks, we're getting close to Thanksgiving. I know a lot of y'all, including myself, are looking forward to that. This is one of my favorite times of the year with all the family and the food and the fellowship and the outdoors. Just great. I have fond memories of being a kid like y'all did, around your grandparents at Thanksgiving, and we still do that now that we're grandparents. So great time. We'll be talking more about Thanksgiving. If you have anything you're thankful for, go ahead and email it to me, and I'll read it here on the show. Let's get started with our weather brought to us by Haney Technical Center at the corner of Baldwin Road and Highway 77. Run by and check them out for any kind of your future goals you have in life. They can help you out on all kind of different things they do there. Okay, our weather today is going to be a high of 77 and a low of 47. That's a 30-degree swing in there, but it's going to be it got a chance of scattered showers. But the water temperature now is still down to 72 degrees. It's probably going to get down a little bit further. All right, let's take a look at our Monday moon forecast. Every Monday we like to talk about the moon, and if you were out last night and had a clear vision, it was a beautiful full moon last night. We're just getting off of it. It's going to be full tonight, and we had a great weekend of a mullet run. I know a lot of folks got some mullet and eating them, had them over the weekend, fried and smoked, and so including myself. So it's great. So now let's look at our tide chart brought to us by Kent Forest Lawn Funeral Home and Cemetery. And their motto down there is where caring counts. And some great folks down there. We had Greg and the dad on last week and really enjoyed that. Today is the 18th, of course, and you're looking at some really strong tides. We're looking at this morning's tide is low at 652 and a high tonight at 845. And we got right at a 2-foot swing in there. I've got a good email from one of the viewers talking about tide changes. We're going to get into that a little bit later and talk about how when we say a 2-foot change, how much accurate that is. So that takes care of that. I want to go ahead and, in case we don't have time when we get back, I got a pretty long video. Let's go ahead and do our fish and game forecast in this segment, brought to us by Mark Cowart of Edgewater Beach Realty. Mark just does an outstanding job as a realtor and one of the top realtors in the whole Panhandle area according to the charts. And his number is 832-6000. Give him a call. Now, you notice a lot of times we have this full moon, we only get one time. Instead of getting 2 times, we only get one time, and the time they're giving us for this one, right here in the middle of the day, 12:24 to 2:24. Excellent time right in there to do some outdoor stuff. All right, let's take our break, and we'll be right back. All right, welcome back, folks. Glad you're with us this Monday morning. We're getting ready to show a video, but first let's talk about, now we had dove season just open up this weekend. Our second phase is going to go through December the 1st. So be aware of that, and you can hunt from daylight to dark, just about it. Check out that good dove hunt this time of year. Also, remember the steam plant canal. I've got a lot of questions on it. The steam plant canal is closed up here, so you can go up there and fish all you want, but you can't keep the fish, you can't keep your bait fish, whatever. All right, now, as we get ready to set up this video, it's going to be the rest of the one I started on Friday. If you remember, Grover Davis went ahead and got the old timers, the old fisherman reunion going, and we just had a great time. And I'm going to show you the first minute of Friday so you sort of reintroduce it. Then all the rest of it's fresh video. But let me say this: I get a lot of joy out of doing Panhandle Outdoors. And I get such good feedback. I think that's what just keeps me pumped up, keeps me going. And for example, we do a lot of different things on here, a lot of variety of different things. And I think if we did a fishing video every day, I would get bored, and I think you would too. If a hunting video every day, it's not just totally outdoors. Everything is sort of reflects what we do. I think I like to use the phrase "real people doing real things." And, we're not glossy. We don't have all this fancy camera work, all different angles. I don't have 10 different people putting it together. It's just us. It's just me and you. And I've been blessed to do this. But let me say this. In fact, when we did the one on the Veterans Day with Greg Brudnicki and the dad, Mr. Mike Brudnicki, I got so many comments on that. And, you know, he sat here and told his war stories, and we honored the veterans on that day. And I've run into so many people just run into different places and got some emails on it, how much you enjoy that. So to me, these are real life characters that we're bringing to you about. It reflects the tradition and our heritage here in the Panhandle. And it's not all about catching this every day or boom boom every day. It's about how all this, you know, Mike Brudnick is a great fisherman. Grover Davis and these guys reflect a great tradition and all. And all this is sort of intertwined into what I call the Panhandle heritage. And, you know, it's not just one county, it's not Guff County, it's not Walton County. It's all of us together in one big Panhandle, what makes us so unique and what makes us able to bring a show to you like this. And I'm just thrilled to do it every morning, and I want to get an opportunity to go up to Grover Davis's get together like that when he brings all these old timers in here. I'm going to take my camera and I'm going to take advantage of using that time, because I can promise you now, some of these people now, next time if he does this again, they won't all be there. But we'll have their story, and that's reflected in my book. I think that's why my book was so successful. You know, so many of those stories were reflected, and those old men told their stories like it was back in those days. And I think a lot of us appreciate that. I know my students do, and we do. So anyway, we're going to start rolling this, and this will be the rest of the show now. It's really good. The camera work's not great, but I think you'll enjoy it. The old timers fishing reunion, hosted by Grover Davis. Wow. Jerry Anderson, Billy Archer. Billy, y'all had a good year?
Had a great year.
I hate I missed that last trip, buddy.
We hate you missed it too. We need one more fisherman catches as big.
I wish I could have been there. Jerry, you had a good year?
Best ever.
Best ever. That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Tom, what about you?
Great year.
All right.
Thank the host that helped put this together. We had Bill Moore, Rick Snellgrove, Mike Miller, Russell Underwood, Greg Ingram, Bill Miller, Jim Moody, and Daniel McCurry. And they're the ones that have contact all these people that speak the food and Don Green, They'll have Darrell Holman, Beanie Whitfield, Rusty McKay, Cicero Brennan, and Bill Ratfield. That's quite a collection. Now, then you got to get set up here. I figured y'all were all in the next generation. So maybe in a few years y'all get up here too. These guys are amazing price. They have been here, and golly, if we had time tonight for them to tell all the stories that they can tell, I'm telling you, it's going to be unbelievable.
Some of them you don't want to tell.
And if we had all the fish piled up in a pile that these guys have caught, they would have been in this building, that's for sure. Part of it's been the shipyard. I want to thank y'all for coming. I hope everybody got a name tag, and there's a reason for that name tag. At this age, I found out that when I go somewhere, I just always give me a name tag, so if I forget who I am, I look down and see. Some of these people go way back. When I first started working on a head boat, I was 10 years old. And the captain was Buster McKay, or the old Queen Mary. And there's a story behind that I was his engineer. And the reason for that, the old Queen Mary was built real good for water, trying to make tonnage. And it was so limber that the deck was planked for 2 by 4s. And no boat just bend every time it went over the waves, kind of crawled over them. And if you went barefoot, you stepped on one of those plugs and over a seat, and it grabbed you and picked the blood vessel and you couldn't get through it until you hit the next wave. So they took 4 by 4s and they stacked them up on each side, outside the engine. They stacked those up and drill pinned them all through, trying to stiffen it up. well, all he did was make it heavier. He didn't skip it. But the telecable, they just bored a hole through there. The telecable still running down the outside of the boat. I was the only one little enough to get back there and fix the telecable when it broke. So we go way on back there. Then I decked in Speedy a little while. Speedy and I had quite a few experiences.
He didn't work for me.
But anyway, they're just absolutely wonderful, wonderful memories back then. We were hoping that Susie Davis would be here tonight. And I don't know how many you young people might not know who Susie Davis is. But Susie Davis held the title of finding the biggest bunch of red snappers I guess has ever been found anywhere. And all of them must have been a bed. They must have been bed because they were all about 25 pounds apiece. And I don't know how many thousands of pounds it cost. Every boat in town went there almost a week. And when we were hanging fish up in the afternoon, the fish edge, the rope would go out all down the neck. Couldn't stand up. And we're probably still paying the price for that today. I've heard Super say before that, man, I wish I had never turned that machine on and seen that. He's actually, the story I've heard on it, he was actually, had already been fishing for the day and had his catch. It was coming in and he just happened to have the machine running. And he ran across something. And he said, well, we're going to stop and check that. And it was always big red snapper. And I think everybody got in on it. But anyway, it's just one of those many, many occasions. In fact, there's a picture over there on the New Dixie Queen. It's in one of the books. There's a color picture. Feeding was running the boat, and it's got those big red snappers hanging all the way around it like that. And so if you want to just see how big they were. You didn't catch her? Golly. I didn't know that. He said he caught black group. You know, I guess if this group has ever made a mistake in their life, probably make many, but one of the mistakes we made is that we thought that there wasn't an end to the fish. All we needed was a faster boat, better fishing tackle, and the more fish we could catch, the more tickets you could sell. And of course, if you were commercial fishing, the more fish you had to sell. And just get everyone you could, any way you could. And I wish we had it to do over. There'd been a lot of changes. We should have been a little more conservative. And you know, my family, and the Anderson family, and all of us, we're probably the most guilty of all putting fishing in the condition it is. But we really and truly, we didn't know it. We didn't know we were messing up that bad. And we sure wish we had the chance to redo it. But several things that happened. The electric reel came along. We were able to go out and drill deep water and catch all the seed stock out there. Tony's and Murray's lump and all those. We went out there and cleaned them up. We couldn't do it with hand cranks. A man will catch one fish out in that deep water and he'd have it. He didn't want to. But as soon as he got an electric reel, he could just keep catching them. And we'd catch so many, sometimes we'd have to fill the box up and leave at 2 o'clock. And by 8 o'clock, he had the box all full. And so he couldn't go back home that early. They want their money back. So we had to pile the fish up in the corner and put the water hose on them, keep them wet, and try to keep them from spoiling before we got in. And boy, you talk about a disastrous mistake. That was one. But I don't think there's a man here tonight, commercial fisherman or recreational fisherman, that would like to have a chance to do it over again. And every one of us, we hear about conservationists and all that, but every one of us here tonight wants our fishery to continue. And we're willing to do whatever we have to do to continue it. And we don't all agree with the government regulations. I think they're over-regulating us. If we had more fishermen on the boards and things like that, make these decisions, I think we can make better decisions. But one thing that we all, whether they're commercial fishermen, recreational fishermen, we want to preserve the fishery. We want this, we love our goal for our children and grandchildren, and we don't want this bunch of environmentalists to sneak in here and divide us. And if they divide us, they'll conquer us. And all fishermen, like I said, recreational or commercial, all we want to do is preserve it and have it in the future for our kids. But you got anything you want to say tonight? You want to say anything, anybody? You good? How about you, girl? I'm doing fine. You good tonight, baby? Man, we're going to, Buster, I know you can talk. Come on, say something.
The only thing I can say is,
Talk right here. Stick it right here.
yeah, the only thing I can say is we've been at this a long time. There's a bunch of us in here that party boat fish, charter fish, commercial fish. We all fish the same fish, do the same people, fish the same areas. We got to get along. When it comes to conservation, you got to give Billy Archer credit. He was the first one to limit the number of fish you put in fish box. And I think they'll give him a big hand.
I would like to say something, Captain Grover. I want to thank you and the families you mentioned tonight for doing what you did to teach us how to do it.
Yeah.
No regrets.
Yeah.
That's right. You want to say anything? Bill? All right. Well, these guys, they have been there, they led the way, and I know I've learned an awful lot from them, and of course, a lot of them are gone tonight. Angus Scott, he just, the list goes on, one's already passed on. But anyway, they left us a good heritage, and let's preserve it, and hopefully we'll have it for our kids to carry on. Thank you.
Good job. Very good. Well done.
Picking out, Cook.
That's it. You got to get the Miller family. Look at here.
Are we doing a picture?
This is a rose between two thorns right here. Megan, Mike, and Bimbo. George, what was your favorite out of all the old time? What was one of your favorite boats? Wasn't it the Gracie Ray?
Oh, the Gracie Ray got a special memory. Captain McKay, I worked for him.
You worked for Captain McKay?
Yeah, me and him saved everybody when it caught on fire. I think mostly it was me running out there.
George Gaynor.
No.
That was it, huh? The Gracie Ray.
Well, how you doing? It's another Warfred him.
Yeah? Y'all go way back?
Oh, we go all the way back. All the way.
What's your favorite memory of George Gaynor?
Oh man, he was a woman's man.
A lot of those old commercial fishermen.
Yes, sir.
I'm talking about that had 30,000 pound a trip went over in the other sea.
Wow.
And Harvey Fiddler was the best there was at it.
Harvey Fiddler.
You needed him in there, baby.
Yeah, yeah.
And I worked with Harvey. Then later on, I bought the boat that he ran.
Okay.
It was heavy to the lift. They'd have to stop it to get it up.
Yeah.
And it was made out of wood, but it was that heavy.
It must have a lot of water in the wood.
Well, that man was going hundreds of miles fishing.
Wow.
He'd have to change oil in his engine before he got back.
Yeah. Okay, folks, we're going to reenact. We're going to reenact this picture right here. Okay. Imogene. Let's see now. Let's change a little bit. Imogene, what's your favorite? Some of your favorite memories about Mike Miller and on the boat?
Oh my God. He was always a sweet kid. He'd always pick up my coffee mugs for me and my aprons. He'd do it and dump my garbage for me.
Oh yeah.
See, I decked on the boats long before I run. That was a picture after I run the boat.
Look
Before
at
then, I was decking. And got to take care of the cooks.
You got to take care of the cooks. You learned that at a young age. What was some of your fond memories about just working on a boat?
Well, you met the greatest people in the world, the sorriest people in the world, and the in-between.
That's a good way to put it.
It was so exciting.
It was something different.
Right, and I enjoyed every minute of it.
Wow.
We had some good times, playing the guitar and singing.
Yeah, that is cool.
How much you made it really fun to work on them boats.
That's cool.
I'll tell you one thing that happened. A guy passed out on the boat one day, and they told me to go get some ammonia. So I run up to, I told Captain Baby, give me some ammonia. And he says, well, we're out of it. All we have is the suppositories. So I took the suppositor and I handed it to the guy, and he says, you use it. I said, I don't know how. He says, you just break it open and put it to his nose. So I opened it and stuck it up his nose, and that guy made about 10 laps around the deck before he stopped.
Oh. You remember when the guy died on the boat? Bimbo was on there. I wasn't on there. Remember he had a heart attack and died? Scared Bimbo to death.
Oh man! And what was that boat? That was the
Gemini Queen.
The Gemini Queen. All right.
Now, when I first met out, well, I've known I'm cheap, but she was on Florida Queen. Remember that?
Yeah.
That's when I worked deck for her.
Yeah.
And then they moved her up to the Gemini Queen.
Look at the price of that
Yeah, look at the
breakfast.
price of that breakfast.
What is the breakfast cost?
$1.75, hamburger 80. I can't get my glasses now.
Hamburger 85 cents.
Yep. Cheeseburger 90 cents.
That's cool.
4 deep back then.
That's cool. Folks, this is Captain Kelly. This right here, the Kelly girls. They're dock out of Captain Anderson. Tell the folks how long y'all been in the fishing business.
Well, we were started in the early 50s, and we don't do any of that anymore, but our boys do. And,
Your boys do it now?
Yes, and they do. They took over from us, and we are retired now.
Have you enjoyed this outing tonight?
Oh, it's wonderful. This is what we need. We need to get all these folks together.
There's some working men and people here.
Man, there's a lot of talent right here.
Yes.
A lot of talent.
And you tell me you get to watch Panhandle Outdoors.
Panhandle Outdoors every morning.
Oh, I appreciate that. Folks, the Kelly family has been around a long time, and if you get a chance to go fishing, that is a great folks to go with right there. Thank y'all so much.
Thank you.
Grover, I think you could call this a big success.
I feel like it was very successful.
Well, again, I want to thank you for doing this for all the men and women in the industry. Thank you.
I think they really enjoyed it. It's a good chance to all get together and talk about old times.
We were a great host, and food was super.
Well, thank you.
Right.
I didn't do all this.
I know.
Our host group put it together, and so it turned out good. We're real happy with the results.
Thank you, Grover.
All right.
For joining us for Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester. Panhandle Outdoors features hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.